everyone, Lone Wolf Jedi here, and I'm gonna do another rant here. Well, this is one of my planned rants that I was gonna do, and it's gonna be something I was thinking about while I was, worrying about my mother. You know, trying to keep my mind off of worrying about my mother. I don't really have to do that much now because she's actually getting way better. The doctors look at you know, um, how to, discharging her from the hospital, and so that's pretty good. Um, Now on to what I'm going to rant about. It's going to be surrounding a certain subject, and that's going to be baseball. Yeah, I know. I was thinking about baseball, even though baseball season's over with. I think about it all the time because it's my favorite sport. Anyway, when I was thinking about it the other day, I was thinking about what are the rare things that happen in baseball. Well, for a hitter, it's hitting for the cycle. And that actually happened this past year. This past season, opening day, Orlando Hudson, the Dodgers did it, and pretty much that's all he did. But that's not what I'm ranting about. Guys that do something good, and then that's it for the rest of the year. What is now the other one? The one I'm going to rant about is surrounding the other rare instance in baseball, and that's surrounding pitchers. That is being the no hitter and or perfect game. Some people ask me what's the difference between no hitter and a perfect game. Well, no hitter is where you just allow no hits. Perfect game, however, is where you face the minimum number of batters, which is 27, and you don't allow any of them on base. Whether they get a hit or a walk, nothing. That's the difference. Just to clarify that for you. All right, now when I think of the no-hitter, I think of 1990, which was the year of the no-hitter, where a lot of no-hitters were thrown. And, well, there was one that was thrown by, it was, uh, it was credited that year, but then a couple years later, the baseball commissioner, Fay Vincent, of whom I'm thinking was the worst commissioner in the history of the position, decided that decided on making it not a no hitter, and I'll explain that in a bit. Anyway, the no hitter I'm talking about was one of very few no hitters, a losing no hitter, and that was thrown by the New York Yankees pitcher Andy Hawkins. Now, at that time, the New York Yankees were one of the worst teams in baseball, and Andy Hawkins I wouldn't say he was a mediocre or a good pitcher. I would say he's roughly around the area in between right there. But he threw a no hitter. He was really it was a game against the Chicago White Sox, and it was in Chicago at Comiskey Park, and like I said, Andy Hawkins didn't allow a hit to any of the White Sox players. The only reason why there were 4 runs allowed, because the final score was 4-0. The only reason why there was 4 runs allowed is that because all 4 runs came across via an error, and none of the players that nobody on the White Sox even got a hit. Yeah, they got on base via an error or a walk, and that's how that happened. But you see, the line score for Andy Hawkins showed that he only pitched 8 innings, and that's because he couldn't pitch the bottom of the ninth. When the home team is when the home team is winning, they don't play the bottom of the ninth, which I can understand that. I mean, you don't want to add insult to injury. So, and about a couple years later, I don't know exactly how long, but Fay Vincent said that since Andy Hawkins did not pitch the full 9 innings, he's not getting credit with a no-hitter. All I can say about that is just complete bullshit. You know, I mean, what if you're going by that logic, then guys like let's say a baseball game that's shortened by or that's called because of rain. Well, and let's say this game is called because of rain, and there's a team that's ahead, say 6-0, and the pitcher is pitching a no hitter, and it's seventh inning. They call it. The game is over. What, the pitcher doesn't get credit for a no hitter, even though it was called because of rain, or is that would that fall under special circumstances? And what about if it's into extra innings? You know, say there's a pitcher who's throwing. I think there was actually a record of this. Pedro Martinez was through a no hitter, had a no hitter through 10 innings, and I don't know how it ended up being lost, but he he threw 9 innings of no hit ball. He should get credit for at least a no hitter. But that's me. Basically, what I'm saying is that rule and a lot of other little things that Faye Vincent did were just crap. I mean, Bud Selig, the current Major League Baseball commissioner, should look at some of the rules and some of the things that Faye Vincent did and either get rid of them, change them, and just basically discredit whatever some of the stuff that he did that some people would consider wrong. And hint, hint, Mr. Selig, if you watch this, just follow my suggestion, okay? Thank you. Lone Wolf Jedi saying, as always, please rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you, and have a nice day.